Thanks for joining us from the Kalmbach Feed Studio. I'm Dale Mignot. This is the Ohio AgNet, the voice you know with the news you trust. Joining us today is Brian Ravencraft from Holbrook and Manter. And Brian, nice to have you with us here virtually in a world of, unusual events this year. You've also helping to serve farmers in new ways. First, let's tell everybody a little bit about the company that you work for and areas that you currently serve.
Okay. Well, Holbrook and Manter is a full-service accounting firm. And so we do your traditional tax and audit. We also do a lot in what we call a full outsourcing, business services and support. So it's your bookkeeping aspect of things, but those are the three primary firm service areas. And then we have some industry things we'll talk about here today too. But we've been around since 1919. So we're in our 101st year of business, continuous business, which is kind of rare for folks. So that's we've been around for a long time. We plan on being around for even longer. So, but that's kind of a little bit of what we do, kind of from a high level.
In our virtual world today, is it easier for guys to be able to do some of their paperwork and do their interactions with their accounting programs online, or is it something you really miss being in person?
Well, I think it's kind of the new norm for us. I think is really. I think people are adapting to where they don't have to see us every day. Things like Teams or some of the Zoom meetings that we're doing, I think, is catching on. We have a lot of our folks, just the way we're set up, a lot of folks are actually working from home, and you may not even know that. You know, we don't really miss a beat. We were set up that way even before COVID hit because we had a lot of folks that would work during busy season and work late hours. And instead of being in the office, they were able to work from home, having a computer at home. So their setup is just like they are at work. And we haven't really missed a beat from that standpoint. So we've let people, if they want to, continue to work from home. I think our clients have been great about doing the same thing. They don't have to see us all the time, but if they do, we can arrange that. Not an issue.
As you look to serving customer needs and being able to do it in this virtual and data and so on world, tell us about your new Ag Business website link. What drove you to build the new link?
Well, it's just that we've done so much. We've worked so closely with our agribusiness organizations already, and again, we started back in 1919. So over time we've developed a lot of things that would just, I think, with COVID and all the other things that have happened, certainly we've looked at developing these microsites not only for agribusiness, but for some other things that we do as well. So agribusiness is still a big part of what we do. We started creating microsites. It's really just kind of a different line of service, really, to we find these platforms really work well for us. So it really allows us to educate our prospective and current clients, about what we can do for them.
So is this a site you go to and explore to find out more about you, or an actual work production site once you're a client you get into to help facilitate give and take that you need in order to help customers?
Yeah, it's really a site that you can go and see what we do in this special space. So we've kind of developed this as a niche. So as a niche area, it just focuses, this microsite just focuses on agribusiness, versus we do have another website which is embedded in it. Some of this is embedded in it, but it's really it really focuses in on agribusiness and what we can do specific to that industry. So we think uniquely positioned for that.
Oh, go ahead. Give us the website then too, so people can make it.
Yeah, it's www, and it's agribusinessaccounting.com. And then, that's the micro site. And then we also have our www.holbrookmanter.com as well.
Okay, but the one we're talking about for today for guys to check out is agribusinessaccounting.com.
Correct.
Can you walk us through that a little bit? What will people experience, and what points would you like them to be able to see while they're there?
I think it lays out all the services that we have and how we really do things. So it gives the breadth of all the things that we can do, and from tax to accounting to estate planning to just a bunch of other services that we can provide. So legacy types of things that maybe folks are interested in. So our folks really have experienced the breadth to kind of service all that.
I kind of look at your business like I look at precision ag. There's so many different things in it. As a newcomer kind of approaching the field, what's an area that most commonly people get started in?
I would think it's probably more from an agribusiness standpoint, it's probably more from a tax perspective, or maybe some financial help, financial accounting, preparation of financial statements, something in that area. But I think that those types of things then lead into well, what goals down the road? What are they really thinking about from a standpoint of um, transition to younger folks, younger generations, or selling off, and what's that mean to me from a tax standpoint? Those types of things. So it starts probably at a higher level, than it goes down into more goal oriented for them as to what they're looking for.
With the diversity of today's farm businesses, what areas are you most versed in?
As a firm, I think we can really provide most of what everything we have on our website, of course. But so I don't know if we say we do one thing more than another. I mean, we do all this, and it's pretty evenly spread out.
Some people find that organizations are really good with livestock operations. Others really good with crop programs, and some of the programs that go along with that, and government connections. Others, are now looking at organics, or maybe even they're into the hemp world and they've gotten their licenses for that. And I guess in some cases, those folks want to know that they're joining a new partner that has some experience in those areas, and that's what they don't have to teach them about that. And that's what I want to make sure people understand. You've got a background in these.
Yeah. So if you're looking from that perspective, I mean, we do a lot in folks that are in livestock. And then the grain farmers as well. But we also do the ancillary stuff like the grain milling, feed manufacturing, fertilizer, seed, anything in that area that's ancillary to to putting your inputs and outputs, that type of thing. So it's all that. Probably I think you mentioned the hemp area. That's probably one area that we've just as a firm decided not to really do anything with at this point. So that would probably be the only thing that would be excluded.
Yeah, there's some areas that specialize in that. Another one said, it's still growing so much, it's really kind of too early to try to figure out what to do. So we'll just come back to that at another point. As you look to the overall theme of the business, do you give tips?
Yes, we do, and we will be posting on this microsite some tips as we go down the road. So, we put to our clients, we actually put letters out a couple times a year. Some from a tax planning perspective, best practices. If there's things like that we see that people need to be aware of, we'll put blogs and things out on this microsite and on our website for folks to find and understand.
Yeah, that was a baiting question, because I was going to ask you here in about 3 weeks, and the whole world's going to adjust at least a little bit in the U.S. Any tips as we look into 2021?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, right now we're doing a lot of year-end planning. I mean, from a tax perspective for folks. So it's what do you plan for? You almost have to have a plan A and a B sometimes, because we don't know exactly what's going to happen with the runoff in Georgia yet. So until we know what that impact may be as to what tax law changes may happen, you have to kind of have a plan A and B, and then kind of make a decision as to what do you want to accelerate some expenses this year, or not. Is that crucial that you need to do things like that, or when should you recognize income? Do you want more income this year at potentially lower rates? It's hard to say. So you just got those are things that there's always a little bit of uncertainty there. So how do you plan around that? It's difficult to plan, but you have to make a decision at some point in the next few weeks.
Yeah, and a lot of guys had decisions in their marketing plan. Boy, with the run up in the markets that we saw over the last 60 to 90 days,
right.
Some adjustments in thinking there may also affect how you can protect yourself and prepare.
Yeah, exactly. How much of that do they take into account for this year? Will the prices still be there next year? If they wait too long. So those types of things. So there is a lot of planning opportunities. Just not only from a tax perspective, but just from the income perspective of what's happened here with markets.
You mentioned on a couple other notes, you've got team members that are out there. Can you give us a little background on these teams and maybe some of their expertise so people will know you a little better?
Yeah, I mean, generally we've got like 3 partners and a director that deal exclusively or a big amount of time large amount of time in the ag space. And I think I added up like the professional hours or years over, I think it was like 4 of us are probably approaching 150 years of service in this ag space, so over time. So, and that's just as a professional. I mean, three of the 4 grew up on farms, so we've been in it all our lives. So it's just kind of like that old saying, you can take the boy out of the farm, but you can't take the farm out of the boy type of thing. We got folks that have dealt with this all their life and really enjoy it and helping folks out. And then we also have some other team members too that they're involved. But those three or 4 of us here, they've got a lot of experience in it. I think we can really help folks. We've helped our own families and farms over the years, so it just goes a long way to helping our clients in the future. Helps out.
This is Brian Ravencraft, and he's with CPA firm Holbrook and Manter. If someone watching the video or hearing a broadcast today wants to start a conversation with you, when's a good time? Is it now, between now and the end of the year, or that's too complex? What do you suggest?
Well, yes, I think we want to talk. That's what we are about, is being proactive. So right now is the best time between here and the end of the year really to take a hard look at what, managing what you can do. Do you need that new piece of equipment? Do you need to keep it, you need to go out and buy something to help out with the income that you're recognized for the year. So to do the year-end planning is a big part of what we recommend. It's almost kind of a must for us. We're not here to do compliance into things. We want to help be proactive and help folks out with what, with their goals in mind and what they're trying to achieve. But having that year-end planning right now is really crucial and important, just to minimize taxes for the year.
As you break it out, how's the best way to contact you for new perspectives?
We take either way. I mean, probably email or just calling in and just introducing yourself or leaving a message. We'll return the call within the day. So it's just a matter of just reaching out to us. I think on our microsite and our website, I think there's a chat feature there too. So I think you can log in there and sign in, and then we'll return a call within the day.
And again, that's agribusinessaccounting.com. Brian, anything else we ought to hit today?
I think we've hit a lot of it here. I think a lot of it is just all the types of things that we can do. Again, we do traditional grain and livestock. We help those farmers out. We help all the ancillary things with. We've done a lot in some international things that we do as well with some German and Dutch farmers in the past here in Ohio. So we got a flavor of that. But no matter what we do, our clients are involved with a lot of things out there. So the importance of it is we need to bring knowledge and best practices so they can achieve their goals.
There you go, Brian. Thanks for the update. Brian Ravencraft with Holbrook and Manter, and they're talking about their new microsite, how it's designed to help agribusinesses and farmers all across the state and surrounding areas. Thanks, Brian.
All right. Thanks, Dale. Appreciate it.